Welcome to episode number 129 of the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of John Boy Media, and today presented to you by our good friends over at SeatGeek. And we would like to welcome in, for the first time this year, a Pittsburgh Pirate. He is the Buccos, I'll say it, soon-to-be all-star closer, David Bednar. Sorry, I had to do that. My bad. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's we are shooting this on a Friday. It has been a quite a whirlwind. I want to fire your travel agent for the last 36 hours. You guys played a late home game because of rain against the Yankees, but the nice thing is there were only 16 runs scored, so it was nice and quick on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it was a quick one.
Flew to Cincinnati. What time did you land on Thursday?
We got into the hotel at like 3:30.
3:30. But the good news is you had a doubleheader. So you got to play early and then late.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
And then what'd you do?
Then we flew to Milwaukee. We got to Milwaukee around 1 a.m.
Are you awake right now, or are you sleepwalking right now?
We're dealing with it. We got a little coffee. We're good to go, though.
Yeah. How tough is it? Like when here you are. What are you in your mid to late 20s? How old are you? 27?
27, yeah.
Okay, so you're 27. You're a pro athlete. I get all that. If that happens to me at age 51, I'm done for like a month. How do you physically feel right now?
I feel good. It's really not that. It's really not that crazy. I mean, it's the big leagues. It's tough. Never a bad day in the big leagues.
Okay, all right,
good.
Good.
That's how I look at it. But however, it definitely is. There's a little bit grindy, but you know what? It's still good to have the opportunity to play some baseball at night.
No, I get it. But you guys are allowed to bitch a little bit about stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of that for sure.
Okay.
But, yeah.
What type of guy are you on the team flights? Are you a card player? Are you a stream? Somebody that streams your favorite shows? Are you a music guy? What do you do?
I'm kind of bouncing between the music and the cards. I don't play, but I watch and then just kind of hang out, see what's going on. Yeah, I can't get. I'm not a huge card guy.
All right, who are the card players on the Buccos? Who's taking all the money?
Vogelbach, Crow, Reynolds plays a little bit. Who was playing yesterday? And Brubaker and Van Meter.
Okay. All
yeah,
right.
So you got a little crew going.
If you had to back somebody in a World Series of Poker event, who are you giving the $10K to go turn that into $350,000?
That's tough. I don't know. I'm trying to think who walks away happy did the times. I would say Vogie. I trust those instincts.
Okay. All right. Good. God, he would have an interesting poker face. I think I would have a hard time not laughing every time I'd look up from my cards and try and get a read on him.
Oh yeah, exactly. I guess that's the route I was going.
Yeah,
where my head was at. Yeah,
got it. All right. Are you ready for me to piss you off a little bit?
Oh yeah, please.
For people that this is audio only, I'm wearing my Cleveland Browns shirt to a native Pittsburghian, if you will.
I mean, why? Come on. You're a Browns fan?
Oh, yeah. From Cleveland. Right. Lifelong. Did you? Yeah. You probably didn't know that when you signed up for this, huh?
I did not know that. I might have I might have said no.
Have you been to a Browns Steelers game?
I went to Big Ben's last game last year, Monday night one. I've been to ones in Pittsburgh. I've never been to one in Cleveland.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you a little hint. Do not wear Steelers stuff. Okay.
That's the vibe I was going to get.
So when my family had season tickets from 1946 until the Browns moved in 1995. And so I went as an impressionable young kid. And
life lessons.
In the late 70s, early 80s, the Steelers were coming off those 4 Super Bowl wins. And then in the early 80s, things started to shift a little bit. And I remember some Steelers fan, you remember those old pennants, they're triangular ones that kids would put up on their walls. This guy walked around with a Browns pennant and everybody's cheering him. And then he lit it on fire at the stadium and got the shit beat out of him. And this is a few sections over from where I am. And my mom is like putting her hands over my eyes. And she's like, do not watch this. And I was like, well, I want to see. It gets a little nasty between those fans.
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like any of the AFC North opponents, it's always like you're learning some stuff if you're going as a young kid, for sure.
So Super Bowl 43, you're 14 years old or something like that. You're an early teenager when the Steelers come back and beat the Cardinals in the last second drive.
Ooh, Santonio Holmes, big man. Wow.
All right. So where
James
were
Harrison you? Running. I was at my family friend's house. We went, that was probably that stretch when they were in the playoffs. We'd go to their house or they come to our house probably every single playoff game. And he'd make some ribs. We'd crush some pizza and just do it all up. And I remember watching it with those guys. So that was a lot of fun. During those years, we always kind of had them over, and it was a great time.
And during the James Harrison 100-yard interception return, were you jumping around the room?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Without a doubt. Probably double fisting pizza, ribs, wings, whatever, and just loving it.
My buddy Kurt Warner, with whom I work over at NFL Network, says he didn't want to air anybody out, but he said a receiver was lined up a little bit off on that play. And so he threw it to the spot where he was supposed to be, but didn't quite work out.
Yeah, I'm glad it didn't, for the Steelers' sake.
So were you a huge Pirates fan growing up?
Oh yeah, for sure. I grew up probably 35 minutes north. So I went to a bunch of Pirates games, Steelers games, a few Pens, way more of a hockey guy now than I was, but yeah, definitely grew up going to PNC and Heinz Field quite a bit.
And so who did you pretend to be when you were playing ball in the backyard?
I remember watching Jason Kendall, Brian Giles. And then as I got older, I really liked watching AJ Burnett pitch. Those are when the Bucktober, that was 13 to 16 years or whatever. I was just graduating high school and in college, and that was just so much fun.
Did you go to the blackout game where Johnny Cueto dropped the ball and everything?
Still get chills just thinking about it. No, I was actually in college. I was at Lafayette College in the other side of the state. Me and two of my other buddies who, were Pirates fans as well. We were thinking about driving back, but I think we had practiced the next morning. I wish I would have, but we definitely watched and were hanging on to every inning.
Because in your lifetime, that was probably your first playoff experience, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Those wild card games, and I mean, the Reds game was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Of course, they ran into the buzzsaw of Arrieta and Baumgartner when they were doing it too.
Yeah.
Absolute buzzsaw.
No, but that was a great few years for Pirates baseball. I know you guys are trying to get back there now. So yeah, you went to Lafayette, and people don't know the Lafayette-Lehigh rivalry.
Ooh, longest standing rivalry in college football.
Yes, that's a big deal. And by the way, you can't be a dummy if you go to one of those schools. Those are high academic institutions, sir.
Definitely some nerds there for sure.
And so that means that you had to go to class and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't skip any classes in college.
Uh-oh. See, I was talking to Rowdy Tellez recently. Of course, you know him in your division of the Milwaukee Brewers. He was like, I majored in baseball. I got to be honest with you. But I imagine that you did okay academically in high school.
Yeah. High school.
Okay. Give me a little bit more here. What do we got here? Were we a math guy? Reading, history?
No, definitely not reading. Way more of a math science type guy. My dad was a math teacher at the high school, and he went to Cornell, and he was so that's kind of where I got that, I guess. And then so my freshman year, I actually thought, I was like, I like math, I like science, I'd like, I could. I think I'm a major in chemical engineering. I thought that was it. And then a semester in, I realized that is not the path I wanted. And I switched my major to econ, and thankfully I haven't had to use that.
Well, kind of, because when we get to the arbitration years and all that sort of stuff, your econ's going to come in handy. Don't worry, you're going to be just fine. The Rose Rotation, as always, presented to you by our friends over at SeatGeek. So I want you to follow a few instructions. They're very easy. Take your phone, download the SeatGeek app, and off you go. Because we are smack dab in the middle of the baseball season. There's still plenty of games left. You can go out and purchase whatever seat you want in the house. They'll help find you the best one, the most reasonably priced one. In fact, they give it a scale of 0 to 10. So they put little color dots like green. That means that's a good seat for you. Red, bad. Once again, green, good. Red, bad. And they rate every ticket from 0 to 10. So they make sure you are getting a bang up deal. Not only for your baseball tickets, but you can buy them for the upcoming NFL season where the schedule is out. Next year, we've got the NBA, we've got the NHL, we've got college football. And by the way, there's concerts always going on. So if you want to see your favorite musical artist, you can go do that as well. And one other thing, you can get $20 off tickets at SeatGeek with the promo code ROSE. So once again, go download the SeatGeek app. If you type in the promo code ROSE, you're going to get $20 off of your first order. So it's really cool. They will help do the homework for you. They'll find you the best, most cost-efficient seat out there. Go do your thing, courtesy of SeatGeek. So your dad, was he allowed to be your teacher?
Yeah, he was. And was my freshman year. Yeah.
How rough was that?
It was tough. I was a freshman in high school. I wish I would have had him later on in high school, because I was still like just that nervous, like new to high school, didn't really know how to test the waters, and I don't think he did either, because he had to be harder on me than all the other kids. So it was like, and then by the time my brother and sister went through, it was like they were living in a lawless land. It wasn't until my sophomore, junior year I started taking advantage of it. Like whenever he'd order out for lunch, I'd get in on it. But yeah, and then my brother and sister were just reaping the benefits from day one. It was unbelievable. They didn't have to feel it out at all. Yeah,
you were the guinea pig. That's hard when you're the oldest.
For sure.
So what'd you end up getting in that class?
I think like a 94, 95, I think.
Damn. Okay, Bednar.
Yeah,
oh.
I mean, yeah.
It's okay. You can pat yourself on the back. It's okay.
Yeah, a little bit in high school. I worked at it.
Okay.
I was a little bit of a nerd.
Solid. I like
Don't
that.
tell anybody.
No, well, it's all right. Nobody listens anyway. You'll be fine with that. Yeah. You seem like a different guy on the diamond as opposed to off of it. Here you are, thoughtful, intelligent, all that sort of stuff. You get out there as a closer and you're high-fiving and going, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. Are you a different dude?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think once, the phone rings and it's kind of dialed in and we're locked in, and it's me versus the guy in the box. And I think I really kind of turned it on then. And, off it's completely different.
I'm curious about the slapping fives and doing the fuck yeah clip in Chicago. They kind of went viral this year. Who did you hear from in the family that was like, David?
My mom was not a huge fan of it. She's like, watch your mouth. There's cameras on you. There's little kids. I said, sorry, Mom. I'm dialed in. I don't even remember doing it, to be honest with you. I just go full blackout mode whenever I'm out there. But my grandma, ironically, her mom liked it. So I'm kind of torn. It was kind of the I went over her head, I guess. She was a fan of it. She loves the intensity, but my mom was not a huge fan. I think I've been slowly trying to convince her that it's all right. I'm out there just competing. letting her rip. And, I think she understands. She doesn't love it, but it's part of it.
I love it that grandma is. How'd that conversation go?
She texts me. She goes, I love it. I just love the intensity. And so I made sure my mom knew that, her mom was all about it.
How great would it have been if grandma just texted you in quotes, "Fuck yeah"?
Honestly, I'll have to find it, but I think she might have did something along those lines. Or whenever I called her, I called her, I think like a week or so after, and she was fired. She was still fired up about it.
Oh, I love that. Dude, you're having an amazing season. And it's so special to be able to do it in your hometown. The reality is, you're a smart guy. You know that teams need relievers at the deadline. How do you deal with that?
Honestly, I understand the business side of it. I understand that's part of it. That's also how I got to Pittsburgh. So, going through it once, it's whatever, but obviously I love Pittsburgh and absolutely everything about it. But again, you definitely see all the stuff out there. But I'm not paying attention to it because a lot of it is smoke until it actually happens. So until then, there's no point in even worrying about it or stressing about it even a little bit. I'll leave my fiance and my dad. They have conversations about it for sure. But I don't pay too much attention about it.
But it is, I imagine it's somewhat rewarding, to be honest, that your name is brought up when people are like, yeah, we need help at the back end of the bullpen. And all of a sudden, seriously, let's be honest here. Yeah. 2 years ago, there weren't a lot of people that knew who David Bednar was. Now they're like, we got to go get David Bednar. It's got to be nice. Yeah, for sure. It's cool to be in those conversations because it does mean that, you're throwing the ball well and people do want you. So it is cool from that aspect of it for sure. I always ask this to guys who now work the ninth inning. Why is there such a big difference between pitching inning 6 and inning 9? I don't know. It's just the last 3 are just just a little bit different for sure. I mean, as much as every out is the same and every out in the big leagues is hard to get. There's just something about the final 3 that are a little bit just hit a little bit differently. Do you remember the first time that you had a chance to close out a game somewhere? And if so, was your heart beating at a different rate? Did it feel like a different major league game? I think my first save was last year. I remember the phone call. I remember just kind of yes and no. I tried so hard to almost just keep it one pitch at a time. And as cliche as that is to, just kind of make it whatever. But there's definitely moments that it does not speed up, but it escalates it. I think that the crowd kind of makes it more so. It's almost like kind of an internal battle with yourself to just treat it as one out at a time. So there's pitching in the 6th or 7th. There's pitching in the 9th. Then there's pitching at home in front of a packed house against the New York Yankees. Was that different the other day? Yeah, that was really cool. I mean, just kind of the atmosphere of that series of, so like I said, it took me back to going to PNC whenever it was packed houses, and it's an awesome energy. I mean, you may not agree with it, but I mean, Pittsburgh sports fans are awesome. Great fan base, got it. So, and then my walkout is Renegade. Mm-hmm. So it gets the Yinzers going for sure. So that was really cool to have a packed house and have that be playing. But yeah, you definitely feel the energy there. And it doesn't suck to get Aaron Judge looking to end the game, I imagine. No, that definitely didn't suck. But don't give me this whole thing. Well, it was just another save sort of deal. Dude, you struck out like one of the hottest motherfuckers on the planet, who's bigger than any position player we've ever seen before. And there's 37,000 people there that are excited you just did something. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it was awesome. It really was. It was a cool moment, and definitely
a little taste of kind of what that energy is like, and what we're trying to bring back to Pittsburgh, and kind of have that winning baseball again, and hopefully kind of have a lot more of those type of moments.
Today's edition of the Rose Rotation presented to you by these guys, Shady Rays. We are smack dab in the middle of summer, and that means you might be heading to the beach or somewhere fun, certainly somewhere sunny, so you're going to need these guys. Every pair, you feature high visibility, polarized optics, high-quality durable frames, and most importantly, they are backed by lost and broken replacements. So that means Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair if you lose them or break them, no matter what happened. And that includes on day one of your purchase. Also, I haven't met anybody who doesn't love their Shady Rays. But if that person is out there, you can exchange them for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. They've got great style. They've got great fit. There's no big brand price tag. And on top of that, it'll warm your heart. Why? Because Shady Rays provides 10 meals to fight hunger in America with every order. In fact, to date, they have donated more than 20 million meals. So they are doing a great job out there, and they're providing you a great service. One other thing, you're going to get $20 off of each pair of premium polarized sunglasses at shadyrays.com with the code word JohnBoyAS. JohnBoyAS. The AS stands for All-Star. Right in the middle of summer. Let's enjoy the sun and protect your eyes, thanks to Shady Rays. By the way, I want to backtrack on something you said. You said you might not want to hear this about Pittsburgh fans, but they're a great group. I respect the hell out of Pittsburgh fans.
Okay,
if for no other reason,
sure we're not a hater.
No, because Cleveland fans and Pittsburgh fans are very similar.
That is true.
Okay. In 1995, when it was announced that the Browns were leaving and moving to Baltimore, I flew back home. I was working in Reno, Nevada at the time, and I flew back home to watch because I thought it was going to maybe be the last Browns home game ever against the Steelers. I flew in, I went to the game, and it was the coolest thing ever. The Steelers fans were wearing orange armbands, like they were mourning the death of something. They were like, who are we going to hate now? Well, they ended up hating Baltimore, but I thought it was really cool that they were like, we hate you, but it was almost like you're the annoying brother, but we're the only ones that can pick on you.
Exactly. I know exactly the vibe you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So it was really one of the cooler sports moments I had ever seen. Back in high school, you actually squared off against Brendan McKay of the Tampa Bay Rays, who was like trying to be Shohei before Shohei, or kind of in the same sort of. You faced him in a playoff game. Is that correct?
Yeah, that was the last my last high school game. He boot us out of the playoffs.
Were you the starting pitcher?
Yeah, I think like we consecutively punched out. Like I don't want to. There was a lot of strikeouts that game. I funny enough, I had the only hit for the Mars Planets that game, the Mars Fighting Planets. That was my high school. It was an infield hit, so I had to use the legs a little bit. Yeah, chopper up the middle, burning up the line.
And that was the only hit he gave up?
Yeah, that was the only hit he gave up. Yeah, I think I gave up like one unearned run or something, one or two unearned runs or something like that.
Wow.
And yeah, that was the only hit he gave up. He's always been incredible. Watching, like growing up, it was like in high school, it was like, oh man, I think this guy could do both of them in college. Sure, yep, he did. And then even in pro ball now, it's like he's still just keeps getting better. So it's always cool to see guys from Western PA go out and do stuff like that.
So I imagine that's the biggest guy. Were there any other dudes that you played against or with in high school or growing up on a scout team or anything else around that area that made it?
Ian Happ is probably one of the names that comes to mind. Yeah, we actually were on the same coach pitch team when we were like 8 or 9, and then we played with Brendan and Ian on a like high school travel team in the fall. Like it was like a showcase team or something like that.
Were you kicking everybody's ass?
Yeah, we had a bunch of dudes on that team. It was cool. And then trying to think who else. Dan Altavilla is another name that comes to mind that was just an absolute stud in Western PA high school sports. He's with the Red Sox now, I believe.
So you're a guy, you grow up in Pittsburgh. We all know it, as much as they might love the Pirates and the Penguins, it's a football town. So were you a high school football player?
I was through my sophomore year of high school. Then I had some back issues. So I had to unfortunately, put that aside.
I love it, by the way. You went to Mars. That's the name of the high school?
Yeah, the Fighting Planets. I can get you a t-shirt if you want.
Dude, I would love a Mars Fighting Planet. What was
Mars Fighting Planets t-shirt?
So what was the logo or the mascot? I mean, did you have somebody dressed as like Jupiter?
I wish. That'd be kind of cool. We didn't really have like a mascot. It's like a swooshy M. It's like an M, and then like it kind of kicks out, and there's like a little planet on the end of it. It's pretty badass.
I like that. It's better than. I'm embarrassed to even tell you my nickname from high school. Oh, there it is. The Mars Fighting Planets. Good job, Robbie. Is that it?
That's it. Yeah, and there's no way there's more than one. So,
hey man, might be down in Arkansas. There could be the Mars Fighting Planets somewhere down there in Fayetteville or something. You never know. I could give you a million guesses of my high school nickname, and you would never get it. Never. As weird as the Fighting Planets might be, or as not weird, but as unique. I was part of the university school preppers.
The preppers. Wow.
Everybody's like, what's your mascot? A kid wearing an Izod? Like, yeah, basically.
Like a pink shirt and some short shorts.
Joke. This might come as a complete shock. I was not a very good athlete in high school, but I always wanted to be a member of the team. So I was the manager for basketball and our baseball team. So I kept all the stats and stuff. And it was kind of a snooty school, all boys. You had to wear a button down to school, nice pants.
The preppers.
Oh, the preppers. Exactly. We really played up our nickname. But I remember wearing a pink shirt one day to school. And so I had to go get the other team, their lineup. And I walked over there and they just killed me for wearing the pink button down shirt. Hammered me. Not pretty.
They let you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it really has never stopped since, pretty much. Let's check in on your brother, Will, who wowed the collegiate world.
Yeah. How about
2021, a little bit more than a year ago. Didn't he lead Mississippi State to their first ever crown?
Yeah, it was their first baseball national championship and first national championship in school history, period, of any sport. So that was really, really cool. That was watching that last year, and then also Adam Frazier and Chris Stratton were both Mississippi State guys. So kind of having them on with the Buccos and kind of seeing how pumped up they were too was just even cooler. It was cool to see, everybody kind of just rallied behind them.
What is the difference when you're on the mound trying to close out a game and you're watching your brother try and make history at the collegiate level?
It was awesome. I mean, I remember tuning in, getting into the clubhouse and just tuning in right to the game. I think the national championship, we were in Colorado, and we had it's like a 40-minute bus ride to the airport. So I was we were watching in the clubhouse, getting ready to leave, and then I watched it on my phone, and then had to finish the game on the airplane. But yeah, what an unbelievable run for him. In the Dogs last year, just so much fun to watch.
Well, but what's it like as a brother when you're a guy who's experienced a lot of the stuff, and then to be able to watch your younger bro try and do this? I mean, are you fist pumping? Are you screaming? What is it?
Oh yeah, I was definitely doing a little bit of everything. I mean, I was just so proud of him, and just beside myself, honestly. I might have been more pumped up than he was. I was definitely running around the clubhouse. I think I said "Go Dogs" about 18 billion times. I think there's, and just the whole energy of it was just so cool.
So he ended up being the first round pick of the Giants a year ago. I think he went something like 14th overall. Where is he right now? What's going on with him?
He was in San Jose, which is their low A now, which is in the Cal League. So I got to spend some time in the Cal League. So we share some travel war stories and some California League stories. But he's actually in Arizona right now, I believe. But yeah, he's I think they gave him a little break or something like that. But he's doing well. He's getting used to the minor league lifestyle. Of the grindy everyday stuff, because it's definitely an adjustment going from, especially for those guys that were just drafted this year from college. You go from that COVID year having they played like three or 4 weeks with like no baseball that summer either, and then you go that full year last year, and then when you first get drafted, they're kind of really you don't really get a full vibe of what pro ball is like, and then this year you get the spring training. You get the full ounce of it. So it's cool to, see him do his thing out there. And then also kind of get his feet wet with that schedule and what that mindset has to be to get through that.
Yeah, dude, it is a mental sport, brother. God almighty. There's so much that goes into it. So do you remember you were drafted by the Padres, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've talked to so many guys who were like, man, when I first got there was like days I wanted to quit. Like I had just had it. And whether it's because there's so much failure in the sport or just the loneliness and all that. Do you remember going through anything like that at the beginning of your professional career?
A year in, it's like just like when you hit those like long skids of just kind of struggling, it's like, man, I can't get anyone out. I'm like, I'm on like the Lafayette College website. Like, okay, how can I maybe enroll in some classes here? Maybe I might need to, get this finish up this degree here soon. But no, that's part of it. I mean, you see so many guys with talent that have boatloads of talent, but they get a little adversity and just can't overcome it. And that's the great thing about baseball. I think it's like that mental grind every single day. And you don't have to have your best stuff to be able to get outs. It's it's just being competitive and being out there. And that's the best part about it, I think.
I've got several relievers on the show that are regular and contributors, and they tell me there have been times where that phone has rang and they are praying that it's not their name on the other side of that. That really happens, huh?
I haven't had that happen, but there's definitely, I think it's still very early in my career, and I'm sure at some point I will, but I try really hard to make that not be what I'm thinking about with the phone rings.
But listen, if you're going to pitch 70 times in a year, you're not going to have your best stuff every day. You just can't.
No,
you're a human being.
It's impossible. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So there's days where like, shit, I have no idea how I'm going to get it done. Like, what do? Do you talk to yourself? Do you go someplace mentally? What do you do?
Honestly, it's just like a couple throws in the bullpen. It's like, oh shoot, all right, we'll see. Well, this is gonna be an interesting one for sure. But then like when you get out there, it's like, all right, hopefully that was just the bullpen thing. We can just put that behind me, and then you go in compete mode. Then it's like you throw 2 pitches, you're spray charting this way, that way. It's like, oh shit, all right, strap it in. This is gonna be an interesting one. But no, I think the biggest thing is whenever those days do happen, it's like, all right, well, I don't have my best stuff, and I'm just going to be competing today. It's just me versus you, and I'm gonna find a way. It's just like you got to reach deep down and just have to get creative sometimes. I think when you have those days.
You know what is big business once again? That's right, trading baseball cards. And Greg Moore's Cards, it's the most trusted sports card seller on the entire planet. In fact, they sell over 80,000 sports cards each and every month. I will save you the math on that. That is more than 2,000 cards a day exclusively on eBay. In fact, Greg Moore's Cards sells baseball cards from every era, including pre-war, post-war, modern era. It's all there for you. So you're probably asking, why do people trust GMC for buying cards? Well, Greg Morris and his team, they hand grade each and every card they sell. So Buyers, they've been trusting Greg's grades for years. If Greg says the card is mint, you know the card is mint. So I want you to go to gregmorriscards.com to check out all the inventory. In fact, GMC wants to give you $10 in free cards just for hearing about us right here on John Boy Media. So go to the website, that is gregmorriscards.com, find the cards you want, and if you win the eBay auction, you message them with the code JOHNBOY to get $10 off of your order. So go right now, gregmorriscards.com. Go save some dough, get yourself some cards. And I'm always fascinated. I always equate you guys, particularly closers, very much like cornerbacks in the NFL, knowing that you might be successful 90% of the time, 93% of the time, but it's how you deal with that 7 or 8% failure that will make you great. How long does a blown save or a missed opportunity hang with you? How do you deal with it?
Trying to get over it pretty quick. It's much easier said than done, and it's a lot more of kind of fake it till you make it. It's like just kind of trying to pretend that you're over it, and then, but once you wake up the next morning, it's got to be gone, or else you can't let it linger, because you're going to be right in there the next day. That's the beautiful thing about being a relief pitcher. It's you have to be ready every single day, and if you let one affect you like that and it carries into your next one, then it's like, okay, that's how it kind of just gets out of control. So it's trying to nip that in the bud as quickly as possible and gonna get past it. So I'll you have to let yourself be pissed off, because it's just natural. But then it's once you kind of leave the clubhouse, it's like, okay, it's we got to start fresh here, and because tomorrow is going to be a new day, and you need to be that guy and give your team the best chance to win tomorrow too.
Like, do your parents, let's say something bad happens on the road, do your parents or does your fiance text you and just say, hey, hang in there? Or do they know better? What sort of guy are you? Do you want to hear from people or not?
Whatever. I mean, honestly, by the time I'm looking at my phone, I'm in a better spot to be receptive to that. But also, I think they're at the point now where they kind of see where I'm at. They're like, hey, so how's it going? My mom will text me, great job, no matter what. Usually, I'm like, come on, do you watch the same game I just did? But yeah, no, you did good. But no, so it's good. Throughout the years, they've kind of just been more of like a feel out and see where I'm at. But yeah, they've been good about it.
Well, I imagine they were thrilled. Not everybody is happy the first time they get traded, but when you got traded to your hometown team, what was that phone call like?
Oh my God, I took the call, and because it all released on Twitter, and I wasn't like fully letting myself kind of believe it, because I was like, you've seen some crazy stuff, and I'm not gonna get super pumped up. So it released, I want to say like 3:00 on like a Monday, and I didn't get an official call until like noon the next day. So I was like, as soon as I get the call, I was like, okay, now we're good to go. But they were all beside themselves. My fiance, my parents. Honestly, I think they all might have been more pumped up than I was, which is tough to do. But going from trying to fly across the country to just driving 20 minutes down the road just is unbelievable. And to have them there and have the support system I do here it's really special.
Who was most excited out of everybody?
It's tough because my fiance was obviously incredibly pumped. My parents were pumped. My grandma beside herself.
Grandma texted you, fuck yeah.
That's exactly it. I don't know. I don't think I could just pick just one. I think like collectively, I think they were just like so like just all beside themselves. Like I think we got some. I think my fiance head over to my parents' house right after like it broke on Twitter. I was like kind of waiting it out because I didn't want to like go over there to her. I was like waiting for a call from somebody. I was like, you know what, whatever, we'll just go over. And they had like a ice cream cake already for me, and like they were all wearing like pirate stuff, and it was funny.
Oh, I love it. Ice cream cake. Let's celebrate a trade with some ice cream cake.
Oh yeah, heck yeah, no better way.
Okay, good. There better have been like some little chocolate crunch in there. Listen, I'm a dessert connoisseur. I bet you I'm right up there with Vogelbach in terms of being able to down desserts. I'm just guessing, by the way. Maybe I'm stereotyping, and maybe that's unfair. Is he a big dessert eater?
I don't think so. I haven't seen him really put it down. I mean, I'd like to think I'm up there as well. I don't know. We haven't really, maybe we'll have to have like a drumstick competition in the locker room or something like that, or something like that.
Actually, let's just make it timely here. We just had the 4th of July hot dog eating contest.
Ooh.
You versus Vogelbach.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I haven't seen him like really put it down. So I don't know if he's just like hustling me, or if he's, if he can really put it down, or if I'm hungry, like can I just power through it and some mental toughness type stuff, or what? I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think that you keep telling me I don't know. I don't see him like, so what is he eating 8 salads a day that I don't know about? What's going on?
No, but it's not like a display of like what you would think. It's not like not loading up. He's not putting spectacular plates together and like crushing. But I don't know. That we're in Milwaukee right now, so they have the brats in the clubhouse, and usually at least one a day for me, just in the spirit of being in Milwaukee.
Yeah,
you have to. It's like when you're in Philly, you got to get a cheesesteak.
Have to.
When you're in Milwaukee, you got to get a brat or a dog or whatever, and definitely gonna have one today. So maybe that's a good conversation for a day. I'll spark that up. Maybe see where we're at.
I think I like you. I think you might be like minus 125 on the as we're checking the Vegas odds.
I won't eat anything though. I'll so I'm extra hungry. I think that's how we're gonna roll.
Old hollow leg trick. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Oneil Cruz is fascinating.
Special.
What makes you say, when you say special, what is it that you see that we don't as the average fan?
I don't know. I don't think there's anything to be hidden there. I mean, the bat's unbelievable. And then the defense has been amazing as well. I think that was, watching him make some of these plays and then watching that arm too, and then run the bases. What was the sprint speed stat? It was like him and Tyreek Hill or something. And then he's 6'7". He moves like that, and he's got incredible juice. It's crazy. So, and then also the personality too. It's like he's not, he goes about his stuff the right way too. So I think when you put all that together, it's I'm incredibly excited to see how this year and the years to come. I think he can be as good as anybody. He's just that special.
What do we think that he could throw on the mound?
And you would think it would have to be triple digits, right? Like just like a whenever he hit the 97 across the diamond, it was like a casual like little shuffle and throw to first base, and it was like 97. I was like, what are we doing? And off of mound, I mean, geez, I don't even want to know.
By the way, I'm sorry. I'm getting caught up in watching Vogelbach run the bases. I have to be honest with you. As I'm looking at all this video, I would rather have our producer, Rob, put together clips of Vogelbach, running, on a gapper here. This is awesome. I love it. My God. Is Vogelbach as good a dude as he seems?
Oh, he's the man. He's the man. Great clubhouse guy. Always brings the energy. Always ready to compete every single day, and it really rubs off on everybody else. And I think that he brings that positive energy every single day. It definitely just brings all the vibes in the clubhouse.
I love it. I've never talked to him, but I've always wanted to interview him. So at least just tell him he's got a fan here at the Chris Rose rotation.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'll let him know.
Yeah, I thought maybe that there was something spreading in the Pirates clubhouse when you had 3 different guys have 3 homer games in the month of June.
How about that, huh?
Well, for you, as you're watching this shit unfold in the bullpen, do you guys have a discussion out there about that sort of stuff when it's happening?
Usually it's like, yeah, the first one's great. And then the second one's like, oh. And then by the time like they're up the third time, it's like, there's no way. Like, and then they do it, and it's like, holy shit. Like, these bombs, and then have 3 guys do it in a month. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's fun. It was really a ton of fun.
I mean, we love homers when we hit them in the bullpen. We get fired up down there for sure.
Is there a contest to try and catch them out there?
No, not a con. We have we try and predict them, and then if you win, you get whoever you throw your hat on, you call a homer. They have to buy you a bottle of alcohol or something, or whatever, or dessert, alcohol, whatever.
Okay, and how have you won anything this year?
I called 2. The most notable one is I called. It was the bad game against St. Louis. I think we were down big, and I think Yachty was pitching, and Jack Sawinski was up. And I had a feeling. I was like, you know what? Like, he's going to get his pumps. I know he is. I got a feeling about this. And so I threw my hat, and it was on Dwayne Underwood. He was not very happy with me. He was like, you're gonna pull this? You're going to pull this right now? Are you kidding me?
Hey, if they're going to pitch a position player, go for the win.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. You could see it. I knew you got to call a homer. A homer is a homer. It doesn't matter.
Was there, since you used to hit in high school, and I imagine you're a pretty decent hitter, right?
For an average high school hitter, I think.
Average,
probably above average high school hitter.
Okay. When you see a guy like Yachty run out to the mound, is there a part of you that wants to call down to the dugout and talk to Shelty and be like, hey, can I at least grab a bat here? If they're going to pitch a future possible Hall of Fame catcher, can I at least hit?
No, I know some guys may feel that way. I'm good. I'm good with not hitting again. I was not much of a hitter. I think once I got to college, I think after we had some like pitchers BP, pitchers home run derbies, like my freshman, sophomore year of college. But then after that, I used to lose it. Even my junior year, I think I was like, we're good. I'm good.
Because my guy Brault, who is
he can hit. Oh, he rakes.
Yeah, he's no joke, dude.
Oh no, he's legit. He's legit.
Yeah, I mean,
Good
I
dude,
bet you he could be like a 250 hitter if he
just hit. Yeah, for sure. Without a doubt.
We just got to work back on getting him to the major leagues, getting him healthy. We're putting the rest of the stuff on the side.
Yeah, Steve is the man.
Good guy. He can sing too. I don't know if you've heard that.
Oh yeah, I heard. Oh, for sure.
I'm kidding. When's the wedding, bud? Next off season?
In January. It's a destination wedding.
Where are we going?
Pittsburgh.
That's funny. That's fun.
Paradise.
How many times have you used that one? That's funny.
Oh, way too many.
That's really good. What role have you played in the wedding prep?
Just enough, I think. Sometimes, whatever she wants me to do, I will do. With a smile on my face. But I give my input from time to time. But I think, sometimes it's welcome, sometimes it's not, and whatever. But yeah,
have we started doing the guest list?
Yeah, working through that.
Tough one. It's a lot harder than people think, because then you have to look at the tables, like who can sit with each other and who cannot.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting hurdle we gotta rip through here soon.
Okay.
So
I wish you luck with it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, God willing, you only do this one time, and I will say this as somebody who's getting ready to celebrate 25 years. Soak it in.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Not congratulations to her, but to me. Do as much as you can. Like, I know you're busy with this, but do your wedding prep. Like, enjoy it.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's fun.
Fair enough. I'm going to spin the wheel of moderately interesting things and get you on the bus to the stadium here. We have new categories. Crushing it. Who was your first celebrity crush?
Oof. First celebrity crush. Let's go Anne Hathaway.
Ooh, great one.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure there was another one, but I think that just popped in my head. I don't know.
Yeah, that's solid, dude. Really good. Impressive. And I love her personality on top of everything else. I actually this is a fun little story. Went with Brian Wilson, the old Giants closer.
Oh, yeah.
To a taping of The Tonight Show. He was going to be on, I think, with Jay Leno back in the day. I'm almost positive that's who it was. And so he was like, yeah, why don't you come out and hang out at the green room? I was like, great, I'll do that. And I think Anne Hathaway was on that night. So she's like running through the halls and she's like, hey, do you think that there's anybody around here who can help me with my dress? I'm like,
sure. Sign you up.
Why not? They're like, hey, weirdo, get back in that room. We have people here. I'm like, you got it. Just be in here if you need me. So that was my Anne Hathaway.
Okay.
There you go. It happens.
Oh, yeah.
Continued success, man. It's been fun getting to know you here. It's been great watching you go out and do your thing. And the Pirates got a nice little fun, exciting club. So let's go. Sure. Keep making things interesting, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And good luck with the wedding plans as well in that destination of Pittsburgh, PA.
Yes, paradise. I'm sure
the Iron Mountain beer will be flowing.
Iron City.
Oh, Iron City beer.
Everything tastes better in a black and gold can.
Yummy. Everybody grab one as you're on your way in. Perfect.
Black and gold. Oh, yeah.
Special shout out to our producer extraordinaire, the one and only Robbie Scirocco, and our summer intern, Alden Stone, who did a bang-up job on the research. For David Bednar of the Pittsburgh Pirates, I am Chris Rose. We'll see you next time on the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of John Boy Media.